Hi, my name is Derek Fahey. I'm a registered patent attorney and a trademark attorney with the Plus IP firm, and this is going to be a brief video on responding to final office actions from the patent office. Now, the word final office action means that you actually received a non-final office action, and for the second time, the examining attorney has rejected the application and found your application not patentable and not allowed to be granted a patent. However, you do have several options that you can do to file a response to the final office action, and it's technically not considered final. The first thing you can do is you can actually file an appeal to the Patent Trial and Appeal Board. To do that, you actually have to file a notice of appeal within 6 months, and then subsequently to that, you have to file an appeal brief. Now, if you file on the 6-month deadline, make sure you pay the 3 months extension of time fees. Very important. The second thing you can do is you can actually decide to file a continuation or a continuation in part application to keep the application going in a second application. This would be a whole new application. You'd have to pay a filing, examination, and search fee. You have to wait in line all over again to have your application examined by the patent office. And that's another option you can actually do. Some people actually, if some claims are allowable and some claims are not allowable, they may actually get the allowed claims respond to the final office action, so that how you get the allowed claims, get a patent, and then go after the other claims in another application known as a continuation or continuation in part application. That's the second option. If you want to actually continue to prosecute the same application, just let me back up a little bit. On the appeal, when you file an appeal with a Patent Trial and Appeal Board, you actually will be in front of 3 administrative judges that will decide your case based upon the record that was actually presented with the USPTO and the patent examiner. So you have to make sure your record is correct when you go to the PTAB. Also, when you going to the PTAB, those judges are picking up the case for the first time. So you have to consider that when you're just making a decision about what to do in filing an appeal brief. Okay, now back to other options. You can also file what's called a request for continued examination. It's known as an RCE. And an RCE basically is you're paying additional fees, and you're actually going back to the same examiner to continue the prosecution. That is another option you can do after final. Another option that you can do after final is you can actually file a response and request for reconsideration after final. Now, there's 2 things you can do, 2 actually separate things you can do. If you respond within 2 months, it's really important that you file within 2 months. Why? If you file within 2 months of the final office action, the examining attorney, if they do not examine your application before the 3-month deadline after final, you would not have to pay extension of time fees in order to file an appeal or file a request for file an appeal, or to file a response to the after final, some other response. Okay, that's very important. So it's important, if you're going to file a response after final and a request for reconsideration, make sure you actually do it within 2 months, because it saves you on some fees. Another thing that you could potentially do is you can actually do what's called an after final pilot program. The after final pilot program is pretty cool, and the reason why I like it is because when you do that, it actually gives the examining attorney additional search time and additional time to examine your application and to review your changes. Now, when you do an after final pilot program, you got to be careful, because there's certain requirements you have to do. You can, for example, if you present the claims over again, you probably would want to narrow the claims. So you need to make sure that when you're going to be moving forward with an after final pilot program, you need to make sure you comply with the requirements for the after final pilot program. So something to think about as well for the after final pilot program. So those are your options to respond to a final office action with the USPTO. When you get a final office action, it's not good, but don't freak out. You still have a few other options you can actually move forward with. And hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know. My name is Derek Fahey. My Instagram is Derek Fahey PA, DEREK FAHEY PA. My YouTube channel, if you're watching this video, you're probably on the YouTube channel. Please leave your comments. Hit the subscribe button if you like my video. We have more content. If you have any questions, check us out on our website, www.plusfirm.com, www.plusfirm.com. We put out information about patents quite a bit. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.